Hello, my name is METİN Arıdaşır. This is 273rd part of explanation of my theory. According to my theory and my formulas, anti-lecture. This is how 2.43 10 to the minus 35 kilogram photon draws hydrogen spectral lines. 2.42 10 to the minus 35 kilogram photon drawing hydrogen spectral lines. Ground state hydrogen energy is at rest electrons point photon energy. Quantums E is equal to mc square inconsistency 2.42 10 to the minus 35 kilogram photon drawing hydrogen spectral lines. Arıdaşır's mine formulas. Yes, according to my theory and my formulas. Hydrogen atoms, here one electron, this is proton-bound electron motion form. This electron motion form made joint motion with a proton. Here say proton. One proton, one electron. Proton inside of electron motion form, they made joint motion form. Electron motion form is spherical, ring-shaped, perpetual, intrinsic motion form of, think of three-dimensional intrinsic motion of form of matter, sensation, perception, matter. Okay. Hydrogen atoms, spectral lines, wavelength values prove that the electron is motionless relative to the proton at its center. At rest, not relocating, not revolving around proton. It encompasses proton and it makes joint motion with a proton. Electron expands and shrinks. A proton-bound electron motion form produces and pushes out a single wave pulse between these two actions, enlarging, expanding, and shrinking. Expanding, according to me, absorption. Shrinking, emission, represents emission. Okay, what make expand a proton-bound electron motion form? I advise you to watch my former videos. Free electron motion forms, successive waves affect proton-bound electron motion form, inversely proportional to their wave numbers. A proton-bound electron motion form produces and pours out a single wave pulse between these two actions, expanding and shrinking. Without finishing its enlarging or shrinking actions, wave pulse spectral line cannot occur. A proton-bound electron motion form produces and pushes out a single wave pulse between two finite, certain, momentarily static states. At first, proton-bound electron motion form expands to a certain state, then shrinks to another certain state, inversely proportional to effective wave number or vanishing successive waves wave number. While shrinking, it produces single wave pulse, and when it shrinks to a certain state, its pulse comes out and expands. These two different certain static states energy values can be represented by two different components of electron motion form. My formulas for a photon energy is here. Now, before explaining this, here, this is electron motion form. Okay. It doesn't revolve orbit around proton. Okay. It is when we see with our mind eyes, it seems to us static, but itself electron motion form, three-dimensional, ring-shaped, cycle, spherical, ring-shaped, and each point, every point of its motion surface is inseparable point. Any motion, every point of its motion, I defined as a photon. Infinite numbers photons on this electron motion forms sphere and cycling in each direction, cycling, ring shape. Here, for instance, this is this point. I chose this, a point. Photon, inseparable point on this surface, and it has point energy, point mass. Photon has mass, according to me, and I have computed before, and I have told you before. A point, photon, has two components. This is vertical, okay, perpendicular this sphere, speed of light direction component, and tangential velocity component. Tangential velocity of photon inseparable point is 6.28 times greater than the speed of light. Here, this is determinative. What? Speed of light component, energy, mass, angular, everything. Here, EVG, tangential linear velocity component, energy. Another expression that I put forth, this VG is 1,884,000 kilometers per second. 6.28 times greater than the speed of light. Here, for hydrogen atom, 91.155 nanometer wavelength sized type electron motion form, most common electron motion form in our universes. I'm so sorry. And according to this wavelength, tangential component, linear velocity component of this photon is, I have computed, its tangential component mass is what? 3 point, yes, 3 point, yes, 3.8583, 10 to the minus 36 kilogram. Here, I have computed before, and speed of light component mass is 2.423 10 to the minus 35 kilogram. Here, tangential component mass is 3.85 10 to the minus 36 kilogram. Speed of light component mass is 2.42 10 to the minus 35 kilogram. And this Vc is 1,804,000 kilometers per second. Okay, these are formulas. According to my formulas, ground state hydrogen, this picture represents, and at rest electron motion form, proton-bound electron motion form of hydrogen atom, not relocating, not disturbed. With its initial wavelength, ground state, but it is motion form. Every point on this motion form is cycling. Okay. And this is photon. Tangential component energy I have computed 136.9 10 to the minus 19 kilogram meter square per second, and speed of light direction energy is, I have computed with photon mass, different masses, different components, 21.8 10 to the minus 19 joules. Okay? And these two numbers are important. If you divide 21.8 divided by 136.9 is that 0.152 unitless constant. There is no electron volt here. This corresponds 13.69 volt. This energy cannot be converted, this energy, different energies. I have told you before, but this subject is not this video subject now. Okay? Okay. Then here, this is another formulas that I put forth. Here, for instance, smaller wave number energy, greater wave number energy minus, and this energy single wave pulse energy in this direction, and corresponding wavelength formula is that and this is c direction, this is speed of light direction, okay? Finally, I have computed. I applied this formula that I put forth, okay? Here, snapshot. Tangential velocity component point photons energy is ground state energy, initial energy, non-disturbed electron motion forms tangential energy. This 136.94 10 to the minus 19 kilogram meter square per second square, and speed of light component energy is point energy, photon energy is 21.8 10 to the minus 19 kilogram meter square per second square. Then when I apply my formula for what? N from 1 to 2 for N between 1 and 2. I have computed, this is wavelength 121.543 nanometer. For two components, same results, different energies but same results, okay? Because H, Hc, okay, divided by different energies, same wavelengths. Spectral lines, left side mine, this column from NIST data, National Institute of Standards and Technologies data for hydrogen atom, spectral lines, a few spectral lines samples here, right side here, left side mine, 121.5 nanometer, 121.5 nanometer mine, and observation 121.5, the same. And second, from N to 3, from N between 1 and 3, okay. Results 102.5 nanometer, 102.5 nanometer. This is observation, 102.5 nanometer, spectral lines of hydrogen, observation. Yes, measurement, experiment. My theoretical results here, 97.2, mine. Here, observation, compare. I advise you to compare. This is 94.9 nanometer spectral line. Here, observed 94.9, and so on and so forth. Okay. Don't forget. Here, we saw MC squared, but different. I derived MVG squared. My formulation. I advise you to watch my former videos. Okay. But in accepted physics theories, are there in quantum theories E is equal to mc squared? No. Here, their samples. These two formulas are wrong. Here, quote from internet, YouTube, Professor M does science. Here, if we look at that, this is mass. If this is mass and